Okay, who would have expected this? Earlier this morning, the Anaheim Ducks posted a 1-minute video on their Twitter account talking about some huge news in the Ducks locker room this morning. In the video, you see Anaheim Ducks defenseman Jackson LaCombe going out there and signing a contract. The deal goes as follows. As posted about on Twitter, the Ducks are making Jackson LaCombe the highest paid player in franchise history. An 8-year by $9 million AAV extension for the talented young defenseman. Ryan Getzlaf, Paul Kariya, and Corey Perry had higher AAVs, but this is the most in total dollars. My goodness, bro. The Anaheim Ducks just made Jackson LaCombe the highest paid player in franchise history in total dollars. And I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, what? They signed this guy to a $9 million AAV? That's Luke Hughes money right there. As highlighted by some of the folks on the R Hockey subreddit, and he's better than Luke Hughes too. At least right now. Greg the Great responds saying, I'm a Jackson LaCombe truther, but the obvious caveat is that Luke is nearly 2.5 years younger than Jackson LaCombe. 22-year-old Hughes is much better than 22-year-old LaCombe. Either way, this contract will be fine for the Ducks. LaCombe is a genuine number 1D and is super underrated. Now, let's dive into what exactly a number 1D looks like on paper, and we also have ourselves an update on that same Luke Hughes speaking out about his brothers. Let's dive into Jackson LaCombe here first. 6'2", 205, a left-handed defenseman, 24 years old, from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, USA. He's a puck-moving defenseman, a speedster, and a two-way defenseman, who is coming off of his entry-level contract, and whose ELC expires a year from now. The guy was eligible for an extension, yes, but he has one more season left at $925,000. So he'll be finishing up that ELC, and then he will get $9 million AAV till the end of 2034. Second-round guy, 39th overall back in 2019, and he was drafted out of the Shattuck St. Mary's Prep School League, getting 89 points in 54 games as a D-man there. He played a full 4 seasons with the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers, made his Anaheim Ducks debut shortly after in 2023, and then had a pretty good season this most recent campaign, putting up 43 points in 75 total. He had 14 goals and 29 assists, a really big explosion of offense from 2 goals to 14. And the way he played in Anaheim was nothing short of being a number 1 defenseman on that team. I say on that team because it's like, hey, if LaCombe was playing in Florida, for example, would he still be a number 1 D-man? I honestly don't know the answer to that. If LaCombe was playing in Vancouver or Montreal or Colorado, other teams that have number 1 defensemen that are in that upper echelon of players, would LaCombe still be the number 1 D? I kind of doubt it. So the question as to whether or not he's a number 1 D, that mostly just depends on the team, but in Anaheim, he is the best defenseman on the squad. He was very good this most previous season. I remember him as a pretty good streamer in fantasy hockey. I mean, guys were picking up and dropping Jackson LaCombe quite a bit in my different leagues this previous campaign. And now he's got a contract to prove it. 8 years and $9 million AAV. He's good, Sububiz says, but I can't believe where we're at with contracts. One unexpected blip in the projections and everything changes. Unexpected blip, are you talking about Kirill Kaprizov making $17 million? Because now Luke Hughes is making 9. I was like, yeah, okay, that's reasonable when you think about how good he is going to be long term. But you also have LaCombe making 9, who is 2 years older than Luke Hughes and who is a much different player, stylistically and projection-wise. As we had said, Luke Hughes at 22, much better than Jackson LaCombe was at 22. LaCombe was finishing up in the Golden Gopher system, and he made his Anaheim Ducks debut, getting 2 games and 0 points. That is what Jackson LaCombe was doing at 22 years old. Luke Hughes is just starting out what is going to be his 3rd full NHL season after wrapping up 2 back-to-back 40-point seasons. So Luke, I think, is a lot safer to project highly into the future versus Jackson LaCombe, but still, these 2 guys are going to be very valuable in their organizations, and they're both going to be making money that indicates that. Let's dive into this over here. I 100% agree, not every young player is going to keep getting better and hit their potential, but you're betting on that not happening to your player. Salary cap projections means every contract you see is going to seem shockingly expensive if you're comparing it to the one signed even 2 or 3 years ago. What happens if those projections don't pan out? You get yourselves another core 4 situation. Hudson is going to get the bag if he wants to. Yeah, okay, this definitely does bode well for Lane Hudson. We have spoken about that a bunch of times. Hilarious the difference in reactions between this one and Luke Hughes. LaCombe doesn't have a brother joining his blue line in 2 years. You shut your gosh darn... Okay, we're not going to go out there and read that. This guy's absolutely legit. If you don't know who he is, you will. At least, Anaheim Ducks fans are very optimistic about this. We also had ourselves AFP Analytics going out there and tweeting that LaCombe's projected contract from their model was 5 years at $7.49 AAV, million dollars AAV. So he gets a few more years, but a lot more dollar amount money. It kind of makes sense when you think about the analytical projection and what he actually got. $9 million is just slightly higher than 7.49, but the term is quite a bit a ways higher too. Now, speaking about that same Luke Hughes, there was a tweet posted by Taj that I wanted to dive into to end off this video as well. Luke spoke out on whether or not he wants to play with Quinn. He said this: "Yes, of course, the 3 of us would love to play together someday. Whether that happens or not, who knows? We'll see. I know Quinn Hughes loves Vancouver. He's the captain there. You never know. Never say never." And I just kind of wonder if this adds any fuel to the fire, or if this really is what Canucks fans would have wanted to hear. Obviously, everything that is going on in regards to Quinn Hughes leaving Vancouver and going to New Jersey to play with his brothers, every single thing that is being asked about in the media with this idea in mind, it's all media-driven. Like, the Hugheses are not going out there and opening up press conferences and saying, "Hey, by the way, I got a brother in Vancouver, and he would like to play with us. But he likes it there, so we're not going to make any definite conclusions." Obviously, these 3 guys are just answering questions whenever the media asks them about it, which is why you get quotes like this. And they're just pretty much saying the same thing every time. "Yeah, we're brothers. Of course we'd like to play each other. Who wouldn't? But we like where we are at." And now the where we're at conversation has changed a little bit because Luke has signed on to New Jersey till the end of 2032. So there's a lot of time that we're going to have to go through before this gets sorted out. And for Quinn Hughes, that could come as quickly as this upcoming summer if the Vancouver Canucks don't perform all too well. Vet went out there and replied saying, "Ask Luke if he wants to be on power play too, and watch his brother play 28 minutes a night in front of him for the rest of his career, and see if you get the same answer there." So, yeah, I mean, they both play left-handed defense, so they would kind of be stepping on each other's toes if they were on the same team. Unless you wanted to do power play 1 with both of them, which I don't understand why you wouldn't want to do that. It's just, I guess if you want to think about whether or not it's worth it to have multiple puck-moving defensemen on the same power play unit, then it starts to become a little bit wonky. I mean, ideally you'd want to have Hughes, Hughes, and Hughes all in the same power play unit. Throw on 2 Petterssons and you've got yourselves a really fun package for John Shorthouse to go out there and start pronouncing. But with all this in mind, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Firstly, about Jackson LaCombe getting the Luke Hughes contract. $9 million a year for 8 years for this young Anaheim Ducks defender. What are your thoughts on Luke Hughes getting himself his deal, which is actually only 7 years long? LaCombe gets the extra year, and he also does have 1 more entry-level contract year, which is why his deal expires in 2034. But thoughts in the comment section below about these contracts here and what Luke Hughes said about playing with Quinn Hughes. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit the like button. If you didn't, then hey, the dislike button is down there for you. Comments help out with the algorithm, so get involved in the conversation. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.